Run it, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah.
All right, folks, welcome back to another edition of Who's Boy Trades. Let's talk about some levels coming into the week of 11/14. So this week, looking at SPX, you can see we've had quite the move up. Definitely a nice move up for the bulls. I've been talking about it for weeks, and we're starting to see a nice move into 4,000 finally. So this week we want to watch. So last week we finished the week one time framing up, so that's solid for the bulls. Ultimately, I still want to see that rally continue to 41.05 and 42.21 to fill both upside gaps into the end of the year. So I'm looking to come back up in here and test this range up here. Actually, yeah, more or less right in here. 42.05 on SPX, 42.21 or so on ES. So, like I said, I want to see that. I stated that in the last video. I've been stating that in the last couple videos because I still do expect that. But I do feel that Friday we once again saw shorts getting burned, trying to fade the weakness into the 39.50 zone. It's always a fair warning to be cautious taking short positions when you see this type of directional upward movement. When it's strong like this and they do start to try to sell it off and you see sellers not being able to follow through a key support, it's very important. That's why it's always important if you're going to take a short position, you want to see strong supports failing rather than guessing that they're going to fail. The point and control finish still down at 38.15 on futures, and we have closed the difference between futures and SPX to 6 points. So 38.09 on SPX is that 38.15 level. Bulls definitely want to see consolidation near these highs because these fast moves up are ultimately unhealthy for the market without any type of value building and consolidation. We now have an unfilled gap to the downside as well at 38.21 to contend with. Gaps, they always eventually get filled. But knowing the timing is definitely the difficult part. We could fill that gap this year, or we might fill it in a couple years down the road. It's hard to say. Bulls are in complete control as long as the weekly balance breakout over 39.25 holds this week. So we do want to watch that 39.25 level. It's still extremely important if we end up selling off to there. 39.50 will still remain important as well. So ultimately, we're looking for that to hold, but we're definitely expecting some chop and consolidation coming into this week. I can also see sellers regaining control if we get the final election results or any other negative news for markets. We have seen a little bit of pullback here on Sunday evening as futures opened. I've been pretty bold, like I said in my last video, looking for mostly upside and opining that the 2022 lows are in since we hit that 35.20 level, which I've been saying it on my video since 35.20. So if you've been watching, you've had a chance to make a lot of money on this upside move to 4,000. I still believe 2023 can be that nightmare scenario, taking us back down to new lows, though. I'm talking 3,000, 3,100 on the S&P 500. Looking at the breadth along with the VIX action instead of prices, what has led me to believe this as well, that the lows are in for just this year. We have seen VIX pull all the way back into near that 20 marker, though, so we'll keep an eye on that. Look for any pops back up. I probably do want to be looking at some VIX longs if you do play the VIX for some hedges against some long shares or equity or any type of options you're holding right now that are up nice from when we first got long to now. Market internals have also been as bullish as we have seen all year the last 2 days, Thursday and Friday. After the massive tech sell-off after earnings, we have seen that completely shift. We've seen a lot of these stocks, bounce 20, 30%. So this week will definitely be interesting to see if we can continue higher or break back down. Coming into the week leaning neutral. I'll always update on the Discord, though. So remember, Monday, Tuesday, come check us out in the Discord. You'll get some more updates from me that way. I'll put a video out every couple days, but remember to follow me every day and to follow our other analysts. You want to be in the Bullprint Discord. I'll leave a link in the description of this video, so be sure to check us out. All right, moving on, let's talk a little bit about Tesla. So we've seen Tesla it lost that 200 level, which was super important. So far, it's held on to 180, which was my next demand zone down. You can see we fell into this range down here. We did save it. We're kind of chopping around in this demand range right now. We'll see, if the market decides to break down, Tesla's probably going to break down lower with it. So we're looking all down to 165. this volume gap could take us as low as 150. So we do have a pretty big volume gap if we lose that 180 level. That 180 level is key to hold. So they've been just annihilating Tesla ever since, Elon bought Twitter, and the selling has just been crazy on it. And, there's a lot of Elon Musk haters out there that may have been invested in Tesla, and they have been selling their shares. And Elon also sold another massive amount of shares, so that has not been good for Tesla stock as of late. I still think Tesla is one of the best long-term investments in the market, so I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to buy it, down here around 180. If it wants to continue down, I'll continue to dollar cost average in. This is not investment advice. Remember, do your own DD, but I like Tesla long-term for sure. So I think we're getting a great discount down here, and eventually this thing is going to bounce back to 300. So that's obviously, all these analysts have price targets as high as, $500 a share, even after the split. I'm looking for that 300 in the next 12 months, so we'll see if we can get back up there. But yeah, the news around Tesla has just been awful. So, this article from last week, headline, Twitter's becoming a nightmare for Tesla shareholders. Elon Musk had said during a Twitter staff meeting that he is selling Tesla stock to save Twitter, according to a report Thursday from the New York Times. Musk also warned employees in an email that Twitter's losses could be measured in the billions. Twitter and Tesla didn't immediately respond to a request for comment about the report. Musk didn't respond to a request for comment via Twitter as either. So, Tesla investor and future fund active ETF co-founder Gary Black estimated following the Times report that losses could top $3 billion annually. Twitter remains a dumpster fire, says Black. Twitter, of course, is a separate business in a different industry. Its financial success and woes don't directly impact Tesla, but it impacts the electric vehicle maker in a lot of indirect ways. For starters, Musk's actions at Twitter have the potential to affect Tesla's brand image negatively. And that goes both ways. They can also affect it positively depending on which side of the political spectrum you lean on. So, that's definitely, there's going to be some bias and political BS going around Tesla right now. That's just the way it is. Unfortunately, that's the society we live in today. Politics creep into everything. Twitter issues seem to be already having an impact on Tesla shares. The stock is down about 15% since Musk took over Twitter, as I mentioned before. Tesla shareholders watched layoffs at Twitter, and Musk announces various measures such as $8 monthly fees for verification to help turn the social media platform around. And we've seen that $8 monthly fee turn into a nightmare. We saw, Lockheed Martin stock sell off. There was a few stocks. They had fake accounts on there that got blue check marked. They ended up putting out some fake news, and we saw stocks get smashed for it. So LMT is definitely one to watch this week, see if it can bounce. That'll definitely be interesting. That 15% decline includes Thursday's big 7.4% gain. Because, of course, Thursday and Friday we saw the market bounce. Thursday was the big one that saved that 180 level, brought us back up into, right in the middle of that demand zone, but not quite getting back to 200. Most stocks did rally as U.S. inflation data came in lower than expected, although it wasn't like we had a massive number lower, so keep that in mind too. And I don't really believe in the whole market following the news. I'm playing levels, so I'm really not concerned with what the news is saying. But that was a nice piece of news that did help the market rally and had some more buyers stepping in that maybe would not have if they hadn't got that, that inflation number. So the S&P and NASDAQ rose 5.5% and 7.4% respectively on Thursday. And then they rose again on Friday, but definitely not as big as they did on Thursday. Thursday was massive. The Dow jumped more than 1,200 points. It was the best day for the market since 2020. Tesla stock sales by Musk also impact Tesla share price and investor sentiment. Musk recently disclosed about another $4 billion in stock sales, which everyone's been talking about recently, and that's another reason that it sold off quite a bit. That's a lot of stock to get dumped in the market. But ultimately, I don't care if Elon sells all of his Tesla stock. It's still a great value. He's not the only person that runs Tesla, and Tesla is the company of the future. And they completely lead in the EV space. There's no one that is even close to them right now. The reason wasn't immediately clear. It could have been the cash to pay off a bridge loan needed to close the Twitter transaction. Now it seems as if it is to fund Twitter's losses. Even though Musk is the richest person on earth, an executive spending billions to prop a company is surprising and unprecedented. It must feel like a bad dream for Tesla shareholders. At the beginning of 2022, Tesla was riding high after growing 22 delivery volumes by more than 80%. Shares added about 50% in 2020 after rising more than 740% in 2019. Now shares are down about 46% year to date, worse than the average drop for auto and auto parts stocks in the Russell 3000 index, as Tesla investors wonder what will at Twitter happen next. Tesla stock wasn't moving much in after-hours trading following the New York Times report. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Tesla performs this week as well. You know, despite what the market's doing, we're going to definitely have eyes on Tesla to see if it can get back over that $200 range. You know, we're looking, actually $200 range, we're about right here. So we're still kind of in that demand zone. You know, 200 down to 180. Really, it's like 210 to 180. But we want to get back up in here and start, you know, consolidating, get that balance going back over 200. Ultimately, we've seen that 237 attempted breakout fail, and then we've been selling off ever since then with a slight bounce on Thursday and Friday. So yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on this one because, like I said, there's a huge volume gap down to 150 here. You can see, looking at the volume profile, it's massive. So we do not want to see it lose that 180. That is the final support from back here in 21 that we want to see hold. All right, and finally, we'll talk about the semis. They have been on a tear recently with this rally. Looking at NVIDIA, we've, you know, came all the way from 110 back over 160. I think this thing could see, you know, I'm looking for 170 is, you know, my ultimate target on this thing. But 170 is going to be tough to break above. You know, we got this, like, I got this 170, 105. And also looking at, let's look at the chart before 1 hour here. Yeah, so you can see we broke over this 160, 115 level, and we'll see if we can open above that again tomorrow. But yeah, once we get up into this zone up here, I'm looking at like just above 170. This 170.60 is probably going to be where it tops out. I actually did start getting short on semis. Nothing has changed news-wise. These are normally cyclical stocks, but I do think that we went a little bit too far too fast higher. So I'm going to be definitely keeping my eyes on semis to see if they can have some pullback and consolidation this week. The same goes for AMD. Obviously, these are heavily traded stocks. I would love to see them back to 200. I would love to see NVIDIA back to 200. I just don't think it's going to happen quite yet. I think we need to consolidate a little bit before we can head higher. So I will be looking for some pullback. And on the daily, like I said, the volume gaps. Let's see if it gives me a better look at it here. Yeah, let's get those a little bit bigger here. Yeah, you can see there's been a ton of positive volume that was down here in the 130s when it got back up here. I actually, you know, I picked up some shares around 116. I didn't quite get the lows down here at 110, but it's been a pretty nice little run, and I sold most of those. But we do have room in this volume gap up to like 168.70. So like I said, 168.70 to this 170.60. We definitely want to be watching that for the upside move and see if it can sustain and get over that. And you can see the 200 days right here too. So this is going to be a big test for NVIDIA this week. So yeah, definitely got my eyes on the semis. Those are probably the first stocks you want to short, in my opinion, if the market turns, because they've ran so far so fast that I think they could, you know, pull back quite a bit. And also we have been watching energy stocks as well. So XOM has continued to be, you know, stay up at these all-time highs. But I think these are overextended as well, especially on the daily. And I think we can see a pretty big pullback into $100. So we'll see how the energy opens up this week. Haven't looked at crude oil quite yet, but I will be looking at that once I get done with this video here. But as far as the stocks, we know that crude oil has not shot up to 100 again, yet the energy stocks like XOM and OXY, Occidental Petroleum, and Devon Energy, stocks like that have been flying high, pushing their highs. So, you know, I'm looking to kind of see some rotation out of these, even though it's been the most overcrowded trade all year. You know, it's just kind of a hunch that I have that these are going to be pulling back pretty soon. Especially with the way the Senate election went and everything. I don't think that that could actually be bullish if the Democrats retain control, because obviously the prices are going to stay high. But we'll see. It looks like the Republicans might still grab the House and the Democrats will retain the Senate. So we'll see how energy stocks are treated over the next couple weeks. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I did, you know, grab some shorts, and we'll see if we can bring this down at least. I'm not expecting these to sell off a lot, but like I said, I think XOM can pull back into 100. I'm really looking for the exact number I'm looking for is like 101.05 here. So we'll see if we can get that. You know, we had these two highs here that I think we can pull back to and retest. Let's see. Let's look at Oxy for a minute too while we got this going in the energy sector. Oxy has just been an amazing stock. I mean, 68 has been my key level to get long at. It hasn't quite given us that lately. We finished, looks like the 77.13 was the high we made back here. And you know, we're nowhere near our all-time highs on Oxy yet. It's got a ways to go to get over that 115 level. So ultimately, this is one to watch, and I'm still buying this on pullbacks. I just think that we're due for a little bit of pullback. They've been overcrowded and they're overextended, and I'm looking for that rotation. I think tech can actually run a little bit higher, and we can see these pull back a little bit, and then we can rotate back. That's kind of how the market's been doing it this year in this bear market. So that's kind of what I got. That's what I'm looking at coming in the week. Got my eyes on energy, seeing if they can get a little bit of a reversal and pull back a little bit. I want to watch tech to see if it can continue higher, or if it's going to consolidate for a little bit. Like I said, I'm leaning neutral coming into the week on the market in general. So we might just see some chop and consolidation to start this week. It'll definitely be interesting to see where we open and how the open goes. If buyers are going to save it, or if we're going to start pulling back into 39, 39.50, then 39.25, 3900 on the S&P. I'm watching GameStop this week as well. It's seen a nice move. I think it's got room up to like $28. $27.80 to $28. I want to be watching that level. See if it can get back up here. You can see it's topped out there quite a few times. If it does get that, if we get over that level and we see it start to squeeze, we could see $30. But I'm really not expecting too much out of it. I'm not too crazy about meme stocks, but if they do look good, I will trade them. AMD, same thing as NVDA. We got back up to $72. I would love to see this thing back up to my big level of $100, but I just don't think we're quite ready yet. I think we're going to do some consolidating, maybe pull back into the $69 range. You can see this volume gap. We're kind of in the middle of it right now, so we can see. I don't know. It'd be a good bet to see if we're gonna hit 75 first, or if we're gonna hit 68 again first. So I believe we'll hit 68 again before we hit 75. So we'll see how the week starts out. And as far as SPY, like I said, the 39.25, so we want to be watching the 390 level on SPY. We touched it twice back here, and we finally broke out made those weekly balance highs no more after breaking out to 4,000 on Thursday and Friday. So definitely some good stuff to watch. The VIX is back, closed back at 22.53. I think we can expect a gap up on the VIX in the morning, the way the futures are looking right now. So Monday, I'm expecting a slight VIX gap up. But it'll be interesting. Like I said, you almost have to lean neutral after a move like this coming into the week. We might see a reversal. It's really kind of up in there right now. So remember, if you want to hear about what we're thinking every day, come join us on the Discord. Bullprint. I'll leave the description the link is in the description to all my videos. Be sure to check that out. Come check us out. We got a great team in there, great analysts. We got a great community. You could talk to, we got tons of traders in there. They'll tell you how much they've learned while being in our channel, on our server. So, like I said, we do like 3 charting sessions a week that you can get on top of those and learn how we're looking at trades and what we're thinking about entries. And we have several different styles of traders too as analysts. So you can learn a couple of different styles. Myself, I'm more of a swing trader. We have some really good day traders as well. Lots of info, lots of good stuff. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe to my videos to get every updated video. Join us on that Discord. You can also check me out on Twitter. Like I said, I appreciate you guys watching. I can't tell you how much I could thank you for watching. I hope to gain a bigger following, as I've been calling some great plays on the market. So I hope to see you back here watching these videos every week, and I hope to also see you in that Discord soon. So remember, check out the link, follow that link, you get that free week trial. And after that, you can decide to subscribe or not. So you can take that free week and do whatever you want with it. If you don't like the server, that's completely up to you. You can leave. No harm, no foul. If you love it, you can subscribe, join us. We're in the voice chat every day during all trading hours, so you can get all your questions answered. You can follow our alerts and learn how to be a better trader. So that's all I got for now. As always, I love y'all. Peace. Thanks for watching.
Man, I just want to lay in the shade, getting no shade, you know what I mean? and pontificate on life. We vibing under the city lights. Wherever the wind gon' take us. If it's good, we make it contagious. Said we vibing, laying on black sand beaches, thinking of what life teaches. So glad ain't fall from the deep end. Said we vibing under the city lights. Wherever the wind gon' take us. If it's good, we make it contagious. Said we vibing, laying on black sand beaches, thinking of what life teaches. So glad ain't fall from the deep end. Said we vibing. Even when the days feel low, faith's gonna have that glow. Already moving where they ain't think I go. Never show your hand or fold. Keep that poker face shining. Keep that hope and faith and face the fire. Ain't no trace of hate that you can find. If you say I'm hating, then you lying. Put your hand on the Bible, won't you try and say that again? Polygraph it, I'll probably map it. Got an alibi or a friend. Ever seen lightning hit same place twice? Won't say I'm God, but Zeus like. Also the guy with the juice side. Phase Avishai, we cruise. Vibing